all of your health and nutritional information that you've heard since a child about how to be healthy, it's all lies. All of it is a lie. None of it is the truth. The people that are literally making trillions of dollars a year off of sick people are not going to tell you how to be healthy. They're not going to put themselves out of business. Like, don't you understand? A patient cured is a customer lost. They're not about to tell y'all how to eat to be healthy. All of your health and nutritional information in mainstream society that you've heard since a child is teaching you how to get sick. It's job security. They create the customers so they can care for you when you come in.
And what about those dairy products? Dairy, in fact, has been called liquid meat because it contains just as much fat and cholesterol as red meat. Drinking 3 glasses of milk a day, as the dairy industry and our government recommends, gives you the same amount of artery-clogging cholesterol as eating 21 slices of bacon. A pint of ice cream is worth 24 slices of bacon. And at least one protein in dairy may trigger the onset of insulin-dependent diabetes in children. At least one hormone in dairy has been strongly linked to breast and prostate cancer. Over 50% of school children are allergic to dairy, and 70% of the population is lactose intolerant, particularly people of color. And due to the strong dairy lobby in Washington, this fat and cholesterol-laden food is required eating for all children enrolled in federal lunch programs, which also amounts to nutritional persecution of minorities due to their high rates of lactose intolerance. And yet, most doctors and dietitians still recommend milk every day. The next time you give your child milk and cookies, imagine giving them meat and cookies, because that's exactly what they're getting. We live in a strange world when it comes to eating. Don't you think it's strange that 1/3 of our raw materials and fossil fuels are consumed raising animals to eat? Don't you think it's strange that with the fuel used to create just a single hamburger, you could drive a car 20 miles? Don't you think it's strange that it's actually cheaper to drive a car any distance than to walk that same distance if your calories came from beef? Don't you think it's strange that hamburger, one of the most resource-intensive and expensive foods on the planet, costs less than raspberries? Ever wonder how it's possible that fast food chains can still sell a hamburger for 99 cents? It's possible because of politics. Because our politicians provide massive subsidies to the animal food industries in return for political campaign financing. And without these subsidies, the cost of animal foods would be like it was in the past, and only the wealthy would be eating themselves to death. Because beef steak today would cost over $90 a pound without these subsidies. You may think you're calling the shots when you're preparing meals, but there's a politician in your kitchen, and he's already decided what you'll be eating tonight. In fact, the most health-dangerous eating habit in human history is purely the result of government interference in the marketplace. Not only do animal food industries get subsidies to keep them in business, but they get a determining influence on our nutrition policies as well. The animal food lobbies have had their claws into everything from designing the government food pyramid, to staffing government bureaucracies, to setting our nutritional standards. And having these industries on government committees that decide what's healthy for Americans is like having Joe Camel on a committee designed to help people quit smoking. This is why so many Americans do everything right, yet die from following government guidelines. Food industries spend $30 billion a year marketing their products. The marketing effort to promote natural whole foods is a mere $30 million a year. In other words, we spend over $100 per person each year promoting foods that cause disease and shorten lives, and only a dime promoting foods that prevent disease and prolong lives. The average consumer doesn't have a chance. Between government endorsement of animal products and heavy advertising, the typical American eats like a trained seal, and the training starts early. The average child is exposed to over 10,000 food messages on television every year, and our eating habits are an exact reflection of marketing efforts. Sad as this may sound, the best thing you can do for your child's health is to turn off the television. Not too long ago, Americans thought there was nothing wrong with smoking. Doctors smoked and even recommended cigarettes to their patients. Cool Cigarettes ran ads that their product actually prevented colds, and the media was filled with health claims for cigarettes. The tobacco industries used doctors to prove their case, and they used health claims in their slogans. As late as 1950, the American medical community still did not think smoking was a factor in lung cancer. And the American Medical Association had a cozy financial relationship with the tobacco industry. And to this day, tobacco executives deny that nicotine is addictive and claim that smoking does not cause lung cancer or any other disease. Today, we have the same attitude about animal foods. Like the tobacco industry, the animal food industries have all had advertisements taken off under court order because they were caught lying. And like tobacco executives, meat, dairy, and egg executives will swear that animal foods have nothing to do with heart disease, cancer, or any other disease, despite the medical evidence to the contrary. What smoking does for your lungs, cholesterol does for your arteries, and the damage is even more lethal.
Their parents were brainwashed. This goes back. Everything they've taught you is a lie. You don't believe they're teaching you how to be sick? When they tell you you need protein? When they tell you you need to eat the rotting flesh of dead animals? You don't believe animals rot? Their flesh rots after they die? You don't believe that? What flesh doesn't rot after it dies? Just because they've slowed the process down through the injection of chemicals and freezing, that doesn't mean, like, you can't stop the rotting process. It's just like if we die, you go to a funeral, they've slowed down the rotting process. Embalming fluid. So whatever they inject into that dead animal when it was alive and dead, so whatever they inject into that dead animal when it was alive and dead, you're eating that too. All of it's linked to disease, and they know this, and they're telling you to eat meat. They're telling you to eat more chicken, eat more beef. And then the so-called healthy people are telling you to eat turkey. They're calling ham pork. the other white meat. They're telling you that chicken is healthier than beef when it's worse. They tell you that milk does the body good. They tell you that the calcium in cow's milk builds strong bones and teeth, when drinking cow's milk actually causes osteoporosis. It actually makes your bones and teeth weaker. They are teaching you how to be sick. They're not teaching you how to be healthy. If anything they were saying was true, there is no way I could feel this good eating nothing but watermelon for 151, is it 151